My dearest brothers and sisters, today we're going to learn from obesity. Nearly 42% of adults are obese. Imagine 100 million Americans. By 2025, this could reach as much as 45%. There have always been obese people, but never in the proportions we are seeing. This is a crisis, this is an epidemic. Nothing like it in all of history. Dr. Mercola is convinced ultra-processed foods and excess consumption of linoleic acid are major factors. Linoleic acid is an omega-6 polyunsaturated fat. Soybean oil is a major source of linoleic acid. Soybean oil drives obesity. If you read the contents of any of the junk foods, you'll see that they're all saturated with soybean oil. And then there's cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, corn and safflower oil. And they get incorporated into tissues such as your heart and brain. One result of this could be memory impairment and increased risk of Alzheimer's. Canola oil in particular has been linked with Alzheimer's. So it's important to realize that you don't get fat by eating fat. You get fat by not burning fat effectively. A high sugar diet, all those soft drinks greatly impair the ability of your body to burn fat for fuel. We should eat more healthy fat and less carbs and protein. High quality fat sources include avocados, nut butters, coconut oil, macadamias, and pecans. Big Pharma, you can be sure, has taken a very different approach. They try to categorize obesity as a disease. This opens up the floodgates. If a disease, you've got to treat it with a drug. And so forth, and so you can be sure that the drugs have been forthcoming, and behold, there are side effects. The latest miracle drug for obesity can cause gastrointestinal side effects and has raised concerns of pancreatic cancer, hemorrhoids, and blindness. Another drug, recently withdrawn, though quite effective in helping people lose weight, except that it had a rather unfortunate side effect. It made people want to kill themselves. As Dr. Mercola relates, a leading group of doctors who specialize in childhood diseases, instead of tackling the drivers of childhood obesity, give a wholehearted endorsement to weight loss drugs and even surgery in children as young as 12 and 13 years of age. I find this unspeakable. Let us look deeper. What sort of world is it that the obese inhabit. How lonely are the streets. When I walk along, rather than say good morning, people stare straight ahead. In place of a smile, in place of a word of kindness, there is silence. Imagine a nation hunched over their cell phones. Have people ever been so isolated, so distant, so remote? Everything has become a commodity, even people. We are all apples and oranges. Which one of us has a close friend, even one in whom they can confine the longings of their heart? Are we not dazed, distraught, and distracted and panic stricken enough? In the 247th year of these United States, we are a nation of strangers. And amidst this drear of isolation and despair, obesity is a cry for help, a cry welling up from the depths of the soul. But no one answers. The silence is deafening, so they bloat themselves. In this way, by bloating, they revert in a sense to earliest childhood, when they were unconditionally loved and cherished, and all their needs were provided for. So they return themselves to a fetal condition. Sadly enough, they are not readily able to engage in sexual union, thus putting themselves all the more in a situation of energetic stasis, the abode of anxiety and neurosis. So let's conclude, my dearest friend, with 7 living tree steps to aliveness. First, eat only organic food. There's really no alternative. And in this way, we shield ourselves from pesticides and from GMOs. Number 2, ditch processed foods. Please. You owe it to your health. You owe it to your soul. Prepare the food you eat yourself. No more takeout ever. Cook starting from scratch. Start with vegetables, nuts, and seeds. That's the basis. No canned food. Please. Fast intermittently. Start with just 2 or even 1 meal a day. Confine one's time of eating to between 6 and 8 hours, with no snacking in between, and please, no food for at least 3 hours before bedtime. Engage in vigorous exercise at least once a day. Take cold showers and hot saunas. The life at the grassroots will triumph. The obese among us will be healed and restored. They will be made whole. We shall yet build here a garden for the American period. Please be sure to put your comments down below and visit our website, livingtreecommunity.com. My privilege to share with you. Thank you.